This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. Pakistani border troops allegedly foiled a U.S. raid on Pakistani territory Monday. Details of the attack remain unclear, but according to an anonymous Pakistani intelligence official, the troops fired warning shots at American helicopters near the border after U.S. soldiers got out of them and tried to cross into Pakistan. The U.S. military has denied the operation. Earlier this month, U.S. commandos landed helicopter gunships in another Pakistani village and opened fire on a compound, killing 20 people. The commando attack followed weeks of strikes by American Predator drone aircrafts and prompted an outcry inside Pakistan. Monday's incident comes days after revelations President Bush had signed an order in July authorizing unilateral U.S. strikes and ground operations inside Pakistan. Pakistan's new president, Asif Ali Zardari, the widower of Benazir Bhutto, is expected to discuss these issues with President Bush when he visits the United States next week. Zardari's Pakistan People's Party won elections earlier this month. He hailed his victory earlier as a completion of the democratic process.
I reiterate, Parliament is sovereign. This President shall be subservient to the Parliament. And I would like history to remember that the weak democracy has managed to take a two-third majority and make a president with a two-third majority, whereas a dictator in uniform could not perform. So democracy talks and everybody hears. And to those who would say that People's Party or the presidency would be controversial under our guardianship, under our stewardship, I would say, listen to democracy. 99% of the people have spoken.
Pakistan's new president, Asif Ali Zardari, speaking soon after he won the elections. Zardari vowed to continue the fight against terrorism during a swearing-in ceremony last week.
The government of Pakistan already has a comprehensive plan, and of course, we bring it the impetus of the people of Pakistan. Yesterday's war may have not had the people behind it, but today's war does have the people of Pakistan. In fact, it has the president of Pakistan, who himself is a victim of terrorism.
Meanwhile, the Pakistani military has intensified its offensive against communities near the border, killing at least 32 people, including 3 women, in an attack on Bajour on Sunday. My guest today is veteran journalist, commentator, activist, author Tariq Ali. Born in Lahore, Pakistan, lives in London, has written over a dozen books, frequent contributor to The Guardian and to The Nation and the London Review of Books, on the editorial board of the New Left Review. His latest book is called The Duel, Pakistan on the Flight Path of American Power. Welcome to Democracy Now!
Very good to be with you, Amy.
This latest incident, your comments?
Well, I think it's a disastrous situation. For the last year, there's been a big debate within the U.S. administration on whether to strike across the border or not. Many people, not part of the administration, but certainly part of the defense and political establishment, have behind the scenes been trying to put pressure on them, saying, don't do it. And the reason they've been saying that is because if this becomes a pattern, and U.S. tries to have hit missions across the Pakistan border, it actually is going to help those people who they claim they are trying to fight.
How?
In the sense that the Pashtun population of the Northwest Frontier Province will say, foreigners are now coming into our part of the country and attacking us, we've got to fight them. And they will join in growing numbers the movement against the occupation which already exists.
I mean, Senator Obama has made clear that he does believe that the U.S. should engage in unilateral targets if there are high-value targets there that are not being dealt with by the Pakistan government.
I think this was a big mistake that Senator Obama made. He will regret it because I don't think he was briefed on what the situation in Afghanistan is. You know, historically, every time the U.S. occupiers are cornered in a country, they try and blame the neighboring country. The same in Vietnam when they started bombing Cambodia, saying it was Cambodia's fault. The threats against Iran even as we speak. And now the missions in Pakistan, the bombing raids in Pakistan, the killing of civilians in Pakistan, when the real crisis and the real problem is a war and an occupation inside Afghanistan which has gone badly wrong. After all, it's many years, Amy. 7 years since 9/11. They've had that country for 7 years, and with each passing year the situation gets worse. They antagonize more and more people who live in that country, and they're incapable of winning the war. So in order to justify their failure to win the hearts and minds of most Afghan people, they are escalating the war into Pakistan, which is going to make the conditions inside the Pakistani military very serious indeed, because there will be real anger. And this report yesterday that there was a clash between Pakistani military and US helicopters trying to land Marines close to the Pakistan border, I think is probably accurate. The report comes from the Pakistani military. The US is denying it, but it's a very serious situation.
Your thoughts on the new president, Zardari, the widower of assassinated former Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto?
Well, it is slightly entertaining to hear him talking about the enhancement of democracy when the only reason he's president is A, that his wife handed over the political party she led to him in her will. I mean, that's how he's become leader of the People's Party, that Benazir's will...
Him and his son.
Him and